On today's episode of WatchJRGo, we are back at the abandoned mini resort, and today a whole lot of stuff is about to go down, or just did go down. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, we are back at the abandoned mini resort. And last night, you guys saw as the wires went in a pipe, the PEX manifold got mounted, and a bunch of new windows went in. Now today, Eric just left, and a bunch of other stuff had to happen before he could leave, so we just cranked through it really fast. One of those things was him framing in the new windows and getting those closed in until we can actually set them, which will happen in a couple days here. So nice, huge, just openings in the side of the house. The old windows are all going in the dumpster in just a minute. And of course, we are coming back with a ton of new siding to replace a whole bunch of things that have happened over the years. Like, we think somebody pressure washed these. It's super weird. Like, maybe they had the super, like the jet, the really tiny jet on the pressure washer and just destroyed the siding. And there's other things like where they blew an insulation. I want those pieces replaced so there's no weird like plugs, whatever those are, sitting up there. PEX manifold, got a couple new additions. The holes are in the floor, and we are going to actually get water to that here in just a minute as well. We're gonna swap over to the PEX manifold. As soon as that cutover happens, all the PEX under the house is going in the trash. I'm just gonna rip it all out and throw it away, and we will start over. The new spigot is mounted outside the house. I just did that. And as you can see, we do have temporary power. We've also got temporary music with the speakers that are actually going in here. I don't know if I showed you these things yesterday, but we went over to these. These are JBL Control 47 CTs. 7-inch in-ceiling speakers powered by this Sonos amp that can pump out like 250 watts. It gets after it. In fact, you can feel these things in the camper. So it's gonna be so loud in here when you want it to be. And I'm also going for maybe 8-inch speakers or something like that with additional Sonos amps over the back deck. So when you wanna have fun here, it will be ready to have fun. The new windows are amazing. Check that out. One finger. And they're dual locking, and all of our windows match with this lattice inside them, because these are the new crankouts that were very expensive. Those are what are going in the front, and they'll make the house look taller because it's a much taller window. There you go, that is the update. Hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have most of my water done. And I also need to get under here, get that spigot done, because I want to have the camper running on that water with the whole house filter that's going on. I want to have all that done today too. So there's a lot of work to do, and the dumpster guy will be here with dumpster number 5 in a minute. I really hope that's the last one, but all these windows, everything that's laying around here, that's all going straight in the dumpster. We've got a lot of trash and we can't fill it up anymore. We were using the Bobcat to pack it. It's completely full. Once these are gone, it's just time for a yard. This is gonna look great. All the windows and the siding will probably be done next weekend. And after that, it's time to paint. So we'll be painting the outside. That's the update. We are moving right along. Okay, here is the whole house filter. The water down here, it's okay, but you know, I'm not gonna go through the trouble of putting in a water softener, which I usually would, but we are gonna do a whole house filter, and we are running the basic filter because I need it to last longer between changes. So we're using the FX HSC GE filter from Lowe's. You know, every different store has a different filter, which is such a nightmare. My house uses a different filter. It's the one Menard sells. This place uses the one Lowe's sells, but it's easier to find a Lowe's. Anyway, at least we'll have some filtration down here. It's better than, you know, just being connected directly to the city water. So hopefully here in the next few minutes, we'll have that mounted and all of the main water supply running straight through that filter. So let's get to work. Here's the new main water valve for the house as well. This side is already expanded and ready to go. And we'll do the main here in just a minute. And when we pull off the old gate valve, it had a gate valve instead of a ball valve on it, which was terrible. The hard water leaked around that valve that's down there so much it cannot be moved. So we actually have to shut off the water main, obviously anyway, and then we'll throw that valve away and put on a good old ball valve, which solves all problems. And I thought this filter said it was 3/4 inch in. It's not, it's 1. So we had to go buy some PVC reducers, threaded to threaded, 1 inch to 3/4. I'm gonna put those in right now. We'll put our PEX A fittings on the filter, go hang it, and then all we have to do is stick some pipe in this house and hook it back up to the spigot. The spigot is gonna run all the way back to the manifold. A lot of times you have to service your outdoor spigots. Like maybe you have to change the packing. Who knows? They might break in a frost, even though we got a frost free. There's just reasons you end up servicing the outdoor spigot. So a lot of times those come directly off of your water main under the house or wherever it's at. I went ahead and ran it all the way back to the manifold so that if something happens, we can just come in here and shut it off and deal with the problem later. That's always the goal anyway, right? Deal with the problem later, so we can turn it off in the house. All right, let's get this guy made up. It shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes here. But you gotta find the end of the Teflon. Here's one fitting. Put our PEX side on here. I try to leave these caps on until everything's actually ready to go in. Tighten that down with some pliers in a second. Let's do the other side. If you go underneath the roll on your Teflon tape, it makes it easy to go the right direction. It's the one trick I learned for making this lay down nicely. No leaks, that's our goal here. Luckily the PEX A expander is like, it just makes this all plumbing the nicest job in the world. It's all so easy. All right, that one's on. I need one more hit of the Teflon on that spigot, and that is all of the screw together plumbing we have to do. I just got the water filter hung and the water main is off. So I'm gonna make sure I've got pressure over to the camper by flipping the valves. We'll turn the camper off and we'll turn the other hose on so we can dump all the pressure out of the house. All right, there shouldn't be much here. Ooh, don't go in the house. And then here in a minute, hopefully all the water is coming out of that spigot right there. Some of you may not appreciate the way I hung the water filter there, but it works for me, and I want it under the house with all the water service, so that is how it's going to go. It's set to filter, we're ready to stick our lines on it. There is our main water valve that's absolutely trash. Let's go grab some tools, spin this thing off, cut this, and well, we should have a whole new water system in just a minute. All right, there is that junk old valve that wouldn't move. I got all that cut out of there. Was able to reuse the PVC side of it. And there's some of the old supply PEX. You do want to minimize the elbows. I know I put a couple in just to make things pretty, but if you can not use an elbow, like why use an elbow? Plus they're expensive. Like, I mean, they cost some amount of money, probably like $3, $4 each. So I'm gonna try not to use them when I don't have to. Just a quick little aside here. In yesterday's video, there were about 1 million hateful comments about how I put 4 extra elbows. It's really just 2 per line in front of the manifold to make the manifold look correct and be plumbed the way every other manifold in the world is. But there were a whole bunch of hate comments saying, I don't know what I'm doing, or, you know, the manifold should have been upside down. Manifolds aren't upside down. No matter how many installations you see, nobody's running the supply line straight up from the bottom and then putting the caps on the top. It's just weird. Why would you do that? I'm never gonna do that. I did it the correct way. I put elbows in to make it pretty, form and function at the same time. But this is just the greatest I told you so ever, because all these videos are almost 2 weeks old now. Like, we're ready to hook up the water filter right now. Had to go grab a couple more expansion caps there. And the valve is on. I'm gonna give it just a couple more minutes before we send the valve live there. You do wanna let it retract, you know, it recompresses back down to its original size after, I don't know, a few minutes. When it's hot, it goes faster. Luckily, it's not too hot today. And we'll wait like 5 minutes, turn the main water back on at the street. All right, let's party. It's been multiple minutes. I am super excited. I know I should probably wait longer, but I just want to turn the water on and see what happens. So guess what we're doing? Turning the water on. And we are fully on. Might bump that back just a hair. Time for the first leak check, the main water valve, and then we'll move on to our filter. So far, it looks like we're doing all right here. Let's find out. Nothing's wet at all. Ooh. Water's on. Now I gotta get in here, get a PEX A fitting on that spigot, and run another line all the way to the manifold. But first, what do you say we get this main line over to the manifold? Let's turn on a little bit of water in the filter just to see if it's good. Oh, we got water. I'm so excited. Honestly, one of the coolest things about PEX A is I could fill this up with water and like blow water all over the place. No problem at all. Obviously, it's not like soldering where I got to get the water out. You don't have to have expensive pipe stops or anything like that. This is not an ad for PEX A. It's just the future of plumbing. And I've soldered a bunch and I can't stand it. I can't stand it. First of all, the ultimate improvement, an actual spigot on the side of the house there. And we've got our Y, so we have our garden hose and the camper. We'll have some hangers. Get all of our PEX hung up where it belongs, and we got our water filter doing its thing here. There's our main. It's all done. All the main cold side is basically done. So now I'm going to pull in a bunch of 1/2 inch for our bathroom and our kitchen and finish cutting out all the old PEX, and we should be good to go. So there you have it. Plumbing, power, windows. I know we did a lot of that yesterday and today, but today things are actually live. The new PEX manifold's live. A whole lot of work is done, and obviously, you know, our first leak check's done. Now all we got to do is run our supply lines out to all of our fixtures. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. I can't wait. We're only 4 actual days, not 4 work days, 4 actual days from those windows going in. And then we'll have an awesome view from the kitchen. All this OSB will be gone, all this OSB will be gone, and we will be in business.